This one has a potential to be a pretty good one, but stay tuned and you see why I may have some reservations here. This is VIN 0440-440. This is an early one, 2016 8X1, which is ultrasonic blue mica with LA20 black interior at Sewell BMW in Grapevine, Texas. So like that's the Dallas-Fort Worth area. 65,000 miles. Originally when somebody had inquired, the price was $56,000. Now it is listed currently, as it went public, for $58,000. It's been a Texas car its whole life, and so let's dive into it. Production statistics: 269 out of the 2,348 cars for the US 49 were ultrasonic blue mica. 122 of them, most of them, had LA20 black interior. That's 5.20% of all of the US 49 production was this combo. So that's like maybe a 5 or even a 6 out of 10. So this car was built on November 25th, 2015, engine number 2063260. If you want to confirm that, just take off the upper cover in the engine bay and see if there's a little white label on the top of the blue intake manifold, and it should be 2063260. The only options that this car doesn't have are the G4, which is the lighted front door sills, the kick sills, and the glass brake sensors, which is V2. The in-service date on this car is March 21st of 2016. So the 10-year service for the ZLZ, the dash, everything like that, that has expired about a month ago. For 2016, 177 out of the 1,418 cars were 8X1 ultrasonic blue, and 74 of those had LA20 black interior. So that is the most common color interior that you're going to find when an ultrasonic blue mica comes up. Second would be the red, and third would be the Stratus Gray, which is the rarest. Carfax, Epic VIN, and AutoCheck. Carfax shows this as a 3-owner, no accident car. Epic VIN shows this as a 2-owner, no accident car, and I don't think that's correct. AutoCheck shows this as a 3-owner, no accident car. So this is a 3-owner, no accident, clean title, Texas car its whole life. So a bunch of green flags there. Previous sales. So this car first went on sale in January of 2016, $87,500 in Texas, and it sold around May of 2016, like 4 or 5 months for sale. April of 2017, L certified, $65,000 with 11,000 miles in Plano, Texas. Still for sale in May, and it looks like it finally sold in July of 2017, so about 3 months for sale. And then of course in 2019, which is the cheapest you would ever get these cars, August of 2019, $51,000 with 21,000 miles at a Toyota dealer in McKinney, Texas, still the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And as I said, that's the cheapest you'll ever see this car. Sold in about a month, or in under a month, to a buyer still in Texas. So here it is, May of 2026. 7 years later, $7,000 more than it was 7 years ago, and another 40,000 miles, $58,000 with 65,000 miles in Plano, Texas. So now into the photos. So this is kind of a weird spot for me because somebody has already inquired about this car and they asked not to share. They have photos that they have acquired and they asked not to share them. So I'm going to honor their wishes. I'm not going to share them. However, I have seen those photos, and so I can tell you a little bit about it since there aren't any listed yet. So the car, the interior looks phenomenal. I don't see any delaminating on the carbon fiber trim. The outsides looks very high quality. The outside of this car looks very clean. I don't see any significant wear, chips, anything on the front. For 65,000 miles, it really looks in phenomenal condition. No excessive curb rash, anything like that. So like you can tell somebody took really good care of this car. So the photos that I do have that I can share are from 2017 when it was for sale, L certified, when it was $51,000. That was 9 years ago, so you can't really take much into it other than here's kind of what it looks like. Blue with black interior with orange calipers. So now into the price. If you've been following these videos the last couple months, the prices are definitely on the rise, and this is no exception. So if you would have asked me 2 months ago, this would have been a $50,000 to $52,000 car. But because of all the auction sales, all the public sales, everything else, the prices are just going up, up, up on these cars. And the clean title, no accident cars are so rare anymore, and this is one of those. So I think even at this price, it will probably sell pretty quickly. And we'll get into the service history here in a minute, but if it needs nothing, the price to me should probably be like 55, 56. And It looks to me like they originally had it for 56 and then they raised it to 58. The person that was inquiring on this car, that's the price they were originally told was 56, and then the price publicly listed is now 58. So I don't know if that means they'll take 56 or if they'll take less than that. But to me, if it needed nothing, if it was ready to go, 55, 56,000 would be where I would be at. To me, it looks like it's overpriced. The public price, it's overpriced just a little bit. Again, if it needs nothing, which doesn't seem to be the case. So that brings me to the service history. And this is why I don't think this car is worth the asking price at the moment. So this car has not been well dealer serviced basically since early 2020 and the last 40,000 miles. So 6 or 7 years and 40,000 miles, there's a big question mark. There's nothing on the Carfax, anything else. It could be an enthusiast that owned it and just DIY'd it. You know, if you look at the Carfax on this one, it's kind of like that. Since I've bought this car at the end of 2023, I've done most of the service myself. But there are a couple entries because it had the dash replaced and there were some back and forth with that. I digress. Basically, looking at my car the last 3 years, according to Carfax and everything else, there's nothing been done, but it's all fully up to service. It doesn't get a lot of mileage, but you know, the blue one does. So that's kind of a big red flag on this car. 40,000 miles worth of no proof of maintenance. And then now that it's at a dealer, the dealer is going to remove, if there's any service history in the glove box or receipts, they're going to remove those to protect the privacy of the owner. So you have to prove, they have to prove that the service has been done. Otherwise, you basically have to assume nothing has been done other than what I'm about to tell you here. So let's get into that, and then I'll tell you what else has not been done. So the first entry of note is March of 2017, a new driver's door check. So that's very common. It's when you open the driver's front door, you'll hear a pop. Real simple part to replace and very common especially on the early cars. They did update the part later, so it wasn't an issue. Then you had squeaking, which was, there's a seal right between the door and the fender right there, and that seal will squeak. That's different than the pop. So they replaced that, and there was a report of the driver's side AC vent was rattling, and that's another common issue on the early cars. Typically, it was just the way it was seated, or they would put some foam behind it to just have a little tension on it so it wouldn't rattle. And so my blue one had that issue as well, and so I just put a little foam behind it, and it resolved that issue. 10,500 miles, April of 2017, certified pre-owned prep. They did some paintless dent repair and 4 new tires, and that was at 10,500 miles. 13,500 miles, October of 2017, they put the updated brake pads. There's a service bulletin for the brake noise. The early cars, they had really noisy brakes, really aggressive, really dusty. They're all really dusty, but they were really noisy. And so there was an updated compound that wasn't quite as aggressive. And if somebody asked for it, they would install it. And so that's what was done here at 13,500 miles. Very possible that if this car had a lot of highway miles, that they're still the original rotors and the pads since 13,500 miles. Like, it could need brakes. The low pressure fuel pump was reprogrammed at that same service. April of 2018, the JLB recall, that's the high pressure fuel pumps. Most of these cars have that done. February of 2019, the driver's side outer taillight was reported to having moisture in it. And I wouldn't say that's common, but you do see that on occasion on these cars. Either if it's not moisture, it's the black chrome finish on the inside of the taillights. It starts kind of bubbling up and flaking off. So if it's not moisture, it's that, but one of those was replaced on this car, the outer driver's side taillight. And then the last service entry, 25,000 miles at March of 2020, was an oil change. That's it. So basically, since 2020, there's nothing. So what's not done? You basically have to prove that things have been done. Otherwise, as I said, you have to assume they're not done. So that would be brakes, tires, valley plate, heat cycles and time. This car, this is a 16 and it was done at 50,000 miles in 2024. Here it is 2 years later, and that car has 15,000 more miles. Heat cycles and time, not necessarily mileage, but would not be surprised if the valley plate's leaking. 60,000 mile service. So that's spark plugs, brake fluid, in-depth inspection on everything else. Probably a drive belt if it hasn't been done. Everything on this car is 10 years old. So that also means fluids, everything. Coolant, torque vectoring differential, transmission service. Basically, you have to assume it needs all of that. The carbon fiber trim on the interior is original, but it appears to not be delaminating. So the usual things on this car: the HVAC servo sweep, make sure everything is fully warmed up and max one side out, max hot, max cold on the other side, cycle through everything, flip sides, make sure everything responds. There is a fix for it, it's just not free anymore. Front lower control arm bushings, inner front tire wear, check that. But yeah, basically you have to assume that this car needs a lot of service. And I talk about this in other videos. These can be gotchas with these cars because that can be very expensive. Assume this car needs brakes, tires, 60,000 mile service, fluids, the valley plate. I mean, you're looking at $5,000, $6,000 extra worth of service, if not more than that. And so that, if you're gonna pay $58,000 for this car plus tax, title, and license, you're in it like 64. Then you're gonna have to add another $6,000. You're in this car $70,000 for a $58,000 car. So that's one of those things you have to watch out for. But at the end of the day, it is a clean title, no accident, Southern driven car. And so it has all of the makings of a great one. You just have to prove that the service was done. Otherwise, be prepared to pay. So that brings me to would I buy this car? Only if I could get it for less, just knowing that it basically is going to need a lot. That's where I'm at. 52-ish would probably be where I'd want to be, because I'd have to put $6,000 worth of stuff into it: tires, brakes, valley plate, 60,000 mile service. Sorry about the plane flying overhead if that's picking up on the microphone. But basically, it would need to be had a whole lot cheaper. And in this market, I still think that it will sell pretty quick. There are a lot of people that have inquired on this car, so I think in this market it will probably still sell, but the service would be the big thing on this. Check it out, worth considering, but you gotta have it for less, or maybe see if you can talk the dealer into factoring into some of that as part of the deal. So like new brakes and tires, something like that. You know, there's options there, but I think that it has the makings of a good one. Just trust but verify. That's what I would have on this one. VIN 0440 440. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon.